when you are not.
On Tuesday, Secretary of State John Kerry met with Hollywood studio heads to hatch a plan to counter the ISIS narrative. It's a great idea, if I don't say so myself, years ago. Imagine if Hollywood channeled this energy into something else, like death cults currently killing thousands. Not Twizzlers, but terror. Imagine what Hollywood could do to degrade, mock, and marginalize the useless, lurid tools who flock to loser magnets like ISIS. They could use special effects to scare these mad martyrs crapless. So much skinnier then. I agree with that fella. Forever, Hollywood has pumped out propaganda for presidents' pet causes, from obesity to climate change, while ignoring the real threat to their total existence. And that threat is a suicide cult with a great story. They're hordes of marauders racing across the sand to a sex-crazed apocalypse. Meanwhile, our creative minds in Hollywood often side with our critics, portraying our free market system as a greed-driven, power-mad evil. America is the only target left in which blaming the victim is actually cheered. So this could help, and maybe other companies like maybe Apple could join the fight. Consider the contrary narrative we could supply. Is ISIS a real fighting force, or are they more like these guys? And what of those 72 virgins you're promised? Who might they be? Well, they are sexy, and they keep you warm at night. Now, this could work. This idea could work, but there is one problem. How did we know about this plan? Kerry tweeted it. Yes, he tweeted to the world about our plan to fight ISIS. What in God's name is he thinking? Isn't the whole point of propaganda to make the enemy think that it's real and not manufactured? Well done, John Kerry. Announce our intentions, then wonder why our enemy is always one step ahead. Who does this remind you of?
Anyway.
Okay.
Anyway, all right, Dana.
Aw, the sheep.
All the sheep. Aww. All the sheep in heaven wouldn't make me join ISIS. That should be a country music song. All the sheep in ISIS. Anyway, okay.
ISIS in
heaven would
not make me join ISIS.
There you go. That's the song. Larry Gatlin, start singing it. Dana, John Kerry has to tweet this. Why? To make himself look important.
Because he's getting to meet with Hollywood.
Yes, that's what it was about. That's what it was about.
There's an entire office at the CIA and the Defense Department that is like set up to work with Hollywood, especially like on historic films. They make sure that the uniforms are correct and things like that. I think this is a great idea. I agree with you and yourself from several years ago.
Yes, my doppelganger.
I hope they make my video of the underwear bomber blowing his ding ding off.
Wait, what's wrong with that end of the table? Honestly.
What happened today? Well, it must have happened.
I don't know what's happening.
That's good to know.
Ding dong.
Terrorists have to know that that's what's going to happen to them. They'll be castrated.
The ding dong.
Yes.
Okay, rough talk on that end of the table.
What do you think of this?
Listen, this is no surprise to me. It's like a flood of ketchup in the brain. Like, quit it. You're not thinking. Why are you telling him everything we're doing? Like, stand down on your Twitter account, okay? You guys like to do that a lot, right? This is, I'm so frustrated because that's making America weaker, not stronger. Why do you have to tell the bad guys what you're going to do next? You must not be serious about having an effective outcome if you're doing that.
Eric, it's because he was showing off.
Well, they don't know what they're doing. I mean, hashtag diplomacy, meet with Hollywood producers to have, I guess, the narrative change about ISIS. By the way, are any one of them going to make a negative ISIS movie, and would anyone go see that movie? I'm not really sure that's hugely
only
huge box
South
office
Park
success.
will do it.
James Taylor singing "You've Got a Friend
I just
in
wrote that
Paris."
down.
I mean, what are they doing? How about you kill them? How about just killing ISIS? And you aptly point out that would be better strategy than these ridiculous things they're playing with.
I mean, I'm for propaganda. I think we need more. We have propaganda on global warming. So we should have propaganda against ISIS. I just don't want to tell them, Juan, that we're doing it.
Well, you let them know about the sheep.
I think the issue is, are we doing it? I want them to do it. I want the Hollywood people to get involved and understand that it's not somebody using you for propaganda. This is about our best interest and our safety as Americans and get in the fight. We want that talent. We want that imagination, that energy. Richard Stengel, who used to be the editor of Time, is at the State Department doing this kind of thing. Dana referred to what the CIA does. They do it too. They've got to understand social media is a front in this war. You can't denigrate it and think that's just, oh, it's a nice thing to do.
And
I don't think it's about
people.
No.
Well, I don't find everybody knows this is going. The fact is, I think we need to do more of it. We need to take it serious.
They do it all the time, and they actually use real footage, like when they behead a young man because he's gay.
Don't we do this, though?
No, we don't do enough
No,
of it.
just
Look what happens
Craig
when
does.
you do. You know, you have the Chris Kyle movie, then you have the 13 Hours movie, and they get panned by various critics.
They don't get, no, that's because they get politicized by the right
and overjustified. Do it. That's what he's asking for.
It's like when they tell people, you know what, let's cut down on the smoking or the kind of, you know, R-rated or X-rated sex and they can do it, and they can put this message into very popular movies. They should.
I think they should just use special effects to show ISIS being completely humiliated.
That's
like
good.
Just create fictional stuff and play it off as fact.
They hate the weak horse.
Yeah, or just have like gods come down and saying what you are doing is bad, ISIS. I don't know.
How about comedy? How about
satire? They don't do satire very well.
Foolish ISIS.
There's a movie called Four Lions, which Borat, what's his face, Sacha Baron Cohen I think was involved in. Didn't do very well.
And there were the two guys that did the. They were here in America. They were Iranian, but they were working for basically Voice of America, and they were doing a satire against Iran. And they actually modeled it after The Daily Show, and they were very successful. I don't think they're on the air anymore.
We need more of that.
I guess doesn't mean they weren't very
We've got to move on.